Supporting teachers and students in independent schools. There are many reasons that parents would consider a private school education for their children. Data gathered by the U.S. News and World Reports states that private school students perform better on standardized tests and are more likely to enroll in college within 1 year of high school graduation. Independent schools generally have smaller class sizes, more individualized instruction, and because independent schools are generally not required to meet state testing requirements, there's more flexibility for teachers to create engaging curricula and experiences that enrich academics. However, public schools are required by law to provide a free and appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment to eligible children with disabilities throughout the nation. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, ensures children with support needs will receive special education and related services. But not all private schools have support systems for children with learning disabilities. Research shows that children with diagnosed learning disabilities and behavior issues are better off in public schools where teachers are trained and states and localities are required under IDEA to provide resources. Parents who are considering private school for their child need to consider the particular type of learning issue, the child's strengths and weaknesses, and environmental sensitivities, along with the types of support the school offers. According to an article in Psychology Today, students with support needs thrive in school climates that reduce their experience of shame, confusion, and sensory overstimulation. While students requiring intensive learning or behavioral support or physical accommodation will be best served in a public school, independent schools may perfectly suit the needs of students who require low-intensity supports and mild accommodations. Depending on school staffing and facilities, students who only need light, targeted support may do well in small private school environments, even when specific special education programs are not in place. Students with conditions like ADHD, mild dyslexia, other non-severe learning disabilities, and neurodivergence can thrive due to the typically lower student-to-teacher ratios and more varied curriculum. Private schools may provide general accommodations, like extra time on tests or modified instructions, and some may have a learning support specialist. The number of children served in special education programs and the percentage of children served have steadily increased over time. The disabilities with the highest diagnosis rate are specific learning disability and speech or language impairment. While support needs vary in intensity, many of the students with these diagnoses and light support needs could flourish in independent schools. While percentages of children served within many of the categories of disability have stayed relatively constant or even decreased since the 1970s, the increase in the percentage of children with autism and developmental delay are notable. Autism and neurodiversity in general are on the rise as diagnostic criteria improve and recognition increases. An estimated 15 to 20% of the world's population exhibits some form of neurodivergence. Today, about 1 in 36 children is diagnosed with autism. A United Kingdom population study found that the number of people diagnosed with autism has increased exponentially by 787% in the past 2 decades. Many private school teachers are not certified as public school teachers are required to be, but rather come to a career in education through industry or business. Private schools often hire subject matter experts with advanced degrees who can give students more authoritative instruction than a teacher with a background in education can. So while the teachers are often innovative and have experience and expertise in their field of knowledge, many independent school teachers have no education training. They do not know where to find evidence-based interventions for academics or behavior. I enrolled in a Master of Education program in special education to close this gap in private schools. I have worked one-on-one with students as a learning coach, helping them address executive function deficits and to learn to work and study effectively. I have taught math and science in private schools. I have heard my colleagues say that students with support needs should not be admitted to independent schools because teachers in independent schools do not have the training to know how to help them. I want to work with teachers in private schools to help them find and implement evidence-based interventions, gather data, and support all students so that they can build strengths, find their purpose, and realize their potential for tomorrow's world. In a teacher support role, I would aim to provide in-depth, hands-on support for teachers to effectively address student behavioral and academic needs. Here is how I envision this support. I will collaborate with teachers to observe students presenting behavioral or academic concerns. During these observations, I will collect specific data on the students' behaviors, triggers, and responses within the classroom context to provide teachers with insights into the patterns or circumstances surrounding the behavior, allowing for targeted intervention planning. I will use resources like the IRIS Center to identify interventions aligned with observed data. I will work alongside teachers to introduce the intervention into their classroom routines, ensuring that it's manageable and fits naturally into their teaching style. In this way, I can help teachers gain exposure to proven strategies while building confidence in applying them with their students. Collaboratively with teachers who are implementing interventions, I will design user-friendly tracking systems to monitor the impact of the intervention, using simple data points that capture growth or change over time. This could be a weekly form, a behavior log, or a digital tool, allowing teachers to efficiently track progress and adjust the approach based on real-time data, reinforcing the value of evidence-based decision-making. Through my own continued observation and collaboratively with teachers, I will regularly review the collected data to assess the intervention's effectiveness. If data shows limited improvement, we can work together to adjust or try alternative strategies, maintaining a flexible problem-solving approach, empowering teachers to actively engage in the intervention process and refine strategies based on what works best for their students. No one in my private high school is trained to do tiered interventions. For students with academic difficulties, I will act on an as-needed basis as the Tier 2 support within classrooms by working with small groups or individual students as part of the response to intervention framework. In this context, I will introduce research-based strategies tailored to specific learning needs, and teachers will gain support in managing varying student needs, while students receive the focused assistance needed to build foundational skills. In subjects where it would be helpful, I can introduce and train teachers on using curriculum-based measurements and tools to monitor academic growth over time, allowing them to track skill acquisition in core areas like reading, math, and writing. Teachers will develop skills in ongoing objective assessment, helping them to understand each student's progress and adapt instruction proactively. For students with challenging behaviors, I will conduct a functional behavior assessment to identify root causes and behavior patterns. Without understanding the issues underlying behaviors, interventions will be ineffective. A functional behavior assessment will help teachers learn more about the factors influencing student behavior to gain effective, tailored strategies to support positive changes. As I work toward this teacher support role, my commitment is to empower independent school teachers with the tools, confidence, and knowledge to bridge the gap between their current practice and the targeted support many students need to thrive. Private school educators bring rich, diverse experiences to their classrooms, but many have not yet been equipped to implement specialized support effectively. By collaborating with the teachers to apply evidence-based strategies, track meaningful data, and adapt interventions, I believe that I can help create an environment where each student's unique strengths are recognized and nurtured. I'm excited to help create classrooms where students with mild learning or behavior support needs can find purpose and achieve their fullest potential, bridging traditional private school values with inclusive education.